And yeah, that is a little tiny bit of a problem with this deck is, yeah, we just have no way of getting this guy through. There are some lands. Maybe we might want to consider those lands. We might want to consider those lands. Black Mage's Rod, that's fine. So he can't pay the Ward 3. Yeah, see, he does just have so many of these forced sacrifice, and he's just pinging us down so much, so annoying. If we could find Garruk's Uprising, that would be amazing. Guys, I scripted this. I'm telling you, I'm just the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Trampling Worldsire. We'll get down a Overlord for good measure as well, and I highly doubt you can prevent 27 damage, and we even drew the Glacier Godmaw. But yeah, a big hungry hippo coming to just devour your soul, Tony. Yeah, see, he thinks he can maybe block with the 1/1, but we did get the trample, and it came in at the most clutch time imaginable. G to the G. It's not enough. So here comes our forest for 8 mana total. Here comes a hungry boy. Sacrifice all these lands, so he's coming in as a 24/24, and we get to put how many counters on him? 10 more counters on all of our creatures. Boop, bop, 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 bop. Oh, but this guy doesn't have trample because we don't have Garruk's Uprising. So, is the opponent just going to get us now? All our guys do have Vigilance, though. He has 2 blockers, actually. All right, well, next turn, we do get the Garruk's Uprising. Oh, and he didn't block the Famished Worldsire. I don't know why he didn't block that one. Pretty crazy. But you know what they say, math is for blockers. GG. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video. Today, it's all about ramping into some big creatures, and the 2 big creatures from the Edge of Eternity set that I want to try out are the Famished Worldsire. For 8 mana, you get a Leviathan that is a 0/0 and has Ward 3. You might say, well, that doesn't sound very good, but he has the Devour Land 3 ability, where it says, as this creature enters, you may sacrifice any number of lands, and then it enters with 3 times that many +1/+1 counters. So if we do get up to 8 mana, and we sacrifice 8 lands, this boy will come in as a 24/24 creature with Ward 3, which is pretty funny. He's famished. He's eaten the whole world. So yeah, I've been excited to try this creature out, and I think in this deck he might be able to put in some work. We'll see, though. But I want to combo him with another really big creature from the Edge of Eternity set, and that is the Glacier Godmaw for 7 mana, so 1 mana less. You get a trampling 6/6 creature. And it says when this creature enters, create the lander token. That we don't care about. He has the landfall mechanic, which says whenever a land we control enters, creatures we control get +1/+1, and they gain vigilance and haste until the end of the turn. So the combo that I hope to pull off today is, and it doesn't have to be on turn 7 because we do ramp quite a bit, but yeah. Turn 7, let's call it. Glacier Godmaw comes down, and then turn 8 we have the Famished Worldsire. Hopefully we can sacrifice 8 lands and then put however many lands we see. I guess I didn't say the second part of Famished Worldsire. When we sacrifice those lands, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is this creature's power. So if we do sacrifice 8 lands and he is a 24/24, then we get to look 24 cards deep and put any number of lands we find there onto the battlefield. So imagine we go Glacier Godmaw, and then we go Famished Worldsire the next turn and sacrifice 8 lands, and then let's say we find just 5 lands even from the top of our library. Well, then that is 5 lands entering that will trigger the landfall ability each turn, where creatures we control, so that's all of our creatures, will get an additional +5/+5. They gain vigilance and haste until the end of the turn. Unfortunately, it doesn't give them trample. This guy does have trample, but that can be a little bit of a problem with the Famished Worldsire. Maybe he's a 24/24 because we sacked 8 lands, and then let's say we found 5 lands, got 5 counters put on him with the Glacier Godmaw. So we have a 29/29 creature. If the opponent just has a 1/1 token, they can chump block with him. So that is why we are going with Garruk's Uprising. Creatures we control have trample. So that might be needed for the Famished Worldsire. And then, yeah, we are playing a really heavy ramp package. Overlord of the Hauntwoods, really good Overlord. I love this guy. He's in the 5 mana slot, but we can move him over to the 3 mana slot because most of the time we will be impending him, create the Everywhere Land token. Same with the Bloomvine Regent. I know he's in the 5 mana slot, but claim the territory, the 3 mana sorcery spell, search your library for 2 basic forest cards, put one of them on the battlefield and one of them in your hand. We're probably doing that on turn 3 as well. Turn 4, Encroaching Dragonstorm, search your library for 2 lands, put them both on the battlefield. We've already been over Garruk's Uprising. We have Glimpse the Core, search your library for a basic forest and put it on the battlefield. And then we have the Llanowar Elf, can tap to add mana. We have the Edge Rover, for 1 mana you get a 2/2 with Reach, which is pretty nice. And whenever this creature dies, we get to create a Lander token, which is basically like Rampant Growth, pay 2 mana, search your library for a basic card, and put it onto the battlefield. And then finally, one other creature we're playing with is Frenzied Baloth for 2 mana. We get a 3/2. This spell can't be countered. He has Trample, he has Haste, and creature spells we cast can't be countered either, and damage can't be prevented. So if we are up against the control matchup, getting this guy down will be quite important, because when we cast the Glacier Godmaw, he can't be countered, and Famished Worldsire can't be countered either. So that's the deck. It is a pretty fair deck, I would say. I'm calling it Hungry Hippos because, I mean, Famished Worldsire, it's in the name. He's famished. He looks a little tiny bit like a hippo, I guess, kind of, maybe. And the Glacier Godmaw, look at this thing, jumping out of the ice, going to eat a spaceship. So he's also hungry. So yeah, the Hungry Hippo deck. Let's see if we can pull off that combo and just absolutely destroy some opponents with some big green stompy creatures. I'll see you guys in the games. All right, guys, again, we have the combo in our hand. We have no ramp, though, which is kind of risky. See adventures in from the opponent, so I think they're playing Ugin, which is a little bit scary. Yeah, they're Ugin for sure. There's an Iron Crag, so they're looking to ramp. We find our ramp, which is really nice. Even though it's light ramp, it's just 1 mana, so it's not the craziest. So he's looking to get up to 7 mana quickly. He's playing white, so he's cheating a little bit. I will go with the Bloomvine. Take 2 lands, one of them on the battlefield, one of them in our hand. So 2, 4, 6. We will be up to 7 mana next turn, and then the turn after that, we can get the Famished Worldsires. So, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts. This might be it. Opponent's up to 4 mana, 5 mana. Could, of course, have the Hedron Archive. He doesn't. It's just a UFO. So we for sure will get down the Glacier Godmaw, create a Lander token, and I don't think he can exile this creature next turn. He is playing white, which does make me a little bit sad because we might see a board wipe right now. But if not, I think we can get him. It's a tapped land. Opponent might be looking to put a land with the UFO. And yes, I think we got him. We have 7 lands on the battlefield. The elf can tap to add 1 himself. So here comes the Famished Worldsire. We're going to sacrifice 7 lands. So this guy is coming in as a 21/21. We get to look 21 cards deep and put 7 lands on the battlefield. So we get 7 landfall triggers for all of our creatures, I believe. Maybe it's just this guy, though. No, it's for all of our creatures. So we are attacking through for 42 damage. This guy can block with the UFO. He can go ahead and draw with the Mind Tome. He might have a Get Lost, which he can't pay for the Ward 3. I'm pretty sure this thing has Ward 3, right? Yeah. Our Famished Worldsire does have Ward 3, so we were getting through for 28 damage. GG. Let's go. Ramped like crazy. And we got the combo. Feels nice. All right, guys. We get to go first, finally, which is nice. We have a ton of ramp, and we have the Hungry Hippo in our hand. And we're playing against Tony Baloney. So I guess we go with Bloomvine next turn. Then we can go with Encroaching Dragonstorm. Cecil. So opponent might be looking to be pretty aggressive, but hopefully, wow. The fact that this guy doesn't have Trample makes me so sad. I think we saw last game, we got him up to like a 28-28, and yeah, he just doesn't have Trample, so Exile a card, that's fine. Strategic Betrayal. That's not an instant speed, right? Yeah, that's just a sorcery. So, yeah, we'll get down Encroaching Dragonstorm. Do a little tiny bit of ramping. And then next turn, we'll have 7 mana, so we can get down the Overlord and our Elf. Please no discard. I don't think he is. I think he's just looking to aggro us down. But yeah, next turn 7, and when we play the Overlord, that actually is 8 mana, so we will be able to cast the Worldsire, the Famished Worldsire. He's a hungry boy. The Dark Confidant, and I think they missed a land. Another Overlord. That's fine, though. And yeah, Ward 3 on this guy is pretty nice. Don't think you can pay the Ward cost. Of course, Strategic Betrayal, we have to choose a creature to exile, but that is where having 2 of these creatures on the battlefield is pretty nice. I mean, Cecil does have Death Touch, so that is the thing that is just so sad about not having Trample. So a 2/3 Death Touching creature can actually just trade with our Famished Worldsire, who would be like a 24/24 creature. So, yeah. Yeah. Opponent does find their land drop. Does he attack with Cecil or Cecil? If he does, might have another one, honestly. Ward 3, still don't think he can pay that with just a 1 mana card. He does need to get up to 5 mana. I think we do let Cecil hit us. I think he has another one in his hand. And yeah, I just want to keep as many creatures on the board for our Famished Worldsire. And then do we get him down this turn? I think we do. I think we do. It might deramp us a little bit because we get to look that many cards deep, sacrifice a creature. Well, you already know we're getting rid of the Elf. And yeah, it seems like he has a lot of these forced sacrifice effects, which does suck because that does get around the Ward 3. Opponent does have a 1 mana spell, and it is, I knew it. I knew they had another Cecil. So, going to keep that one. We will get a land down, and I will just get down the Famished Worldsire, and we will just sacrifice 9 lands. So this guy is a 27/27 creature, and we get to put 10 lands on the battlefield. So let's absolutely go. I don't think I want to attack with the Overlord just yet, because he might trade with Cecil, and then he might honestly have one more of these forced sacrifice cards. So we'll hold for right now. We only have 6 lands in our deck still, so 30 cards are hopefully stuff to help us out. I mean, some of them is just for a little bit of ramp. That won't help too much. He can pay the Ward 3 right now, so if he does have a Shoot the Sheriff, then say goodbye to our Famished Worldsire. And yeah, that is a little tiny bit of a problem with this deck is, yeah, we just have no way of getting this guy through. There are some lands. Maybe we might want to consider those lands. We might want to consider those lands. Black Mage's Rod, that's fine. So he can't pay the Ward 3. Yeah, see, he does just have so many of these forced sacrifice, and he's just pinging us down so much. So annoying. If we could find Garruk's Uprising, that would be amazing. Guys, I scripted this. I'm telling you. I'm just the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Trampling Worldsire. We'll get down a Overlord for good measure as well. And I highly doubt you can prevent 27 damage. And we even drew the Glacier Godmaw. But yeah, a big hungry hippo coming to just devour your soul, Tony. Just yeah, see, he thinks he can maybe block with the 1/1, but we did get the trample, and it came in at the most clutch time imaginable. G to the G. All right, guys, we get to go first. We have the Glacier Godmaw into the Famished Worldsire with a little bit of ramp. Is coming a little tiny bit later, but hopefully the opponent isn't too aggressive. We are going first as well, so... And yes, opponent is definitely not too aggressive. We even have a blocker down now that you love to see. I think next turn we'll go with the Claim the Territory, just so turn 4 we can get the Overlord down for the full cost. So yeah, claim the territory. Here's land number 4 on the battlefield, land number 5 in our hand. And yeah, that is a turn for Overlord on the battlefield. That will give us a land as well, so we'll be up to 6. Hopefully we can find a land drop. So turn 5, we can go Glacier Godmaw. Screaming Nemesis, that's pretty annoying. I will definitely block that one. The opponent is actually pretty aggressive, but we do find the land. We will go with Overlord. And then, yeah, next turn we have the Glacier Godmaw, and hopefully the turn after that, a Famished Worldsire with haste. Could even maybe... Oh, it's a Kona deck? I find Kona such a lame creature with a lot of these spaceships that can just tap him right away. But we will go ahead and take the damage. Oh, and we do find a land. Let's absolutely go. So hopefully they can't remove our Glacier Godmaw. Create a lander token. We're honestly just going to hold back our Overlord, just to maybe prevent him from attacking with Kona. And hopefully he doesn't remove our Glacier Godmaw. Please just play one of those spaceships that you can use to station. One of those lands. Pretty annoying. It comes in tapped. He is more or less all tapped out. Of course, he does get to put something really busted on the battlefield, but he only has 2 lands. Or not 2 lands. He has 2 unknown cards in his hand. And he's actually tapping all his creatures. Not that it matters, because we're going to have a massive Famished Worldsire. So I think he's going to put a Galta, would be my guess. Could be a Gishath. Vaultborn Tyrant, also a really good dinosaur, but it is not enough, buddy. Trust me. It's not enough. So here comes our Forest for 8 mana total. Here comes a hungry boy. Sacrifice all these lands. So he's coming in as a 24/24, and we get to put how many counters on him? 10 more counters on all of our creatures. Boop, bop, 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 bop. Oh, but this guy doesn't have trample because we don't have Garruk's Uprising. So is the opponent just going to get us now? All our guys do have Vigilance, though. He has 2 blockers, actually. All right, well, next turn we do get the Garruk's Uprising. Oh, and he didn't block the Famished Worldsire. I don't know why he didn't block that one. Pretty crazy. But you know what they say, math is for blockers. GG. All right, guys, we go first. A little tiny bit of ramp, and we do have Garruk's Uprising to give our creatures trample, which is really important with the Famished Worldsire because I think we've seen in a few games we can get him up to really huge numbers, like a 24/24, something absolutely ridiculous like that. But if the opponent just has a chump blocker, can even just be a 1/1 elf, then yeah, it doesn't really do much. So that is a feels bad moment. Opponent is the landfall deck themselves. This might be pretty hard for us to deal with. So I think we'll get down the Frenzied Baloth just to have some blockers on the board. And we need to honestly kind of hope to find some of our big payoffs because their creatures just grow so quickly. Innkeeper's Talent, that is a nice draw for them. With Innkeeper's Talent, I know for sure they're playing Ouroboros, the little vine in the ice that basically just doubles all the... Not doubles, sorry. It puts counters on all the creatures equal to that creature's toughness. So opponent doesn't attack, which is nice. We will go with Encroaching Dragonstorm. 2 lands on the battlefield tapped. And then with the Baloth, we will hold him back. So we're up to 6 mana, so we can play the Overlord and the Elf next turn. Terra Symbiosis to draw a card. A really nice card. I played that in my Ouroboros deck as well. And does the opponent attack? If they do, they don't. We find our Glacier Godmaw, so that's really nice. So here comes Overlord. Here comes a little elf. And yeah, next turn we do have the Glacier Godmaw. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 mana. Part of me really wants to get Garruk's Uprising down just so we can start drawing cards whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters. But at the same time, we might need to get the Glacier Godmaw down. He has his own Hydra, comes in with 3 counters, so he's drawing 3 cards, so pretty nice from the opponent right there. Put a +1 counter on the little elf. The Hydra grows as well. Oh, Encroaching Dragonstorm is pretty nice. We'll go with that one next turn, though. Create a lander token. And then we will attack with Overlord. Get to create the Everywhere land token. Oh, and he does choose to trade. That you love to see. I'm glad that Chocobo is off the battlefield. This Hydra might be able to put in quite a bit of work, especially if he finds his Ouroboros. He doesn't. He just plays another Chocobo. And no crack lands from the opponent as well. That you love to see. No Icetil Explorer. That card also goes hard in a deck like this. So yeah, opponent maybe a little bit more of a budget version, even though these are all rare. This one is a common. Another one of those. So he's going to draw 3 more cards. So this guy has his card draw on point. Puts the counter on the Chocobo. And he doesn't attack us yet. Gets more counters with that one. 2 lands. Plus another land right here. We'll go with Garruk's Uprising. We will go with Encroaching Dragonstorm for 2 more lands. And that is some more counters on everyone. And yeah, we will activate the lander token just to find another land. Fortunately, we can't attack with this elf, but we can attack with these 2, and they do have vigilance, which is really nice. So that's a nice combo where when a land enters, our creatures get +1 and they gain vigilance. So we are losing our Frenzied Baloth, but at least he's losing one of his bigger creatures. Opponent is down to 9. Can we get there? And another Chocobo. I mean, he has drawn a ton of cards, so that's not that crazy. I'm just glad we haven't seen an Ouroboros yet. We might see it hit the battlefield right now, though. Opponent maybe looking to decline this. No, he does accept it. So just 1 card draw for turn. The Ornery Tumblewag. District Mascot. So he does have quite a few creatures back to block now. He can attack with the Hydra. He chooses not to, though. Yikes. He chooses not to, though. That you love to see. Unfortunately, we don't find our creature that we need, but another Glacier Godmaw. Yeah, you know what? We actually will go with this one. Get to create a lander token. It's just a land, just another land. This one can find another land as well. 2, 4. I don't think we can play him. I think we hold on to him, and I think we actually just activate this one to find another land from our deck. I wish I could have actually... I think I could have done that on my turn, which might have been a little bit more important. These guys do have trample, though. So, wait, let's think about this. If this 9/9 blocks this one, that's 1 damage getting through. And then this Chocobo blocks that one. That's 6 damage getting through. I think we do push it. We send it. Math is for blockers. I'm not doing the math. It's up to this guy. Black Magic, 26. Black Magic, 26. Is looking to get rid of our Glacier Godmaw, but I mean, you still have to block this one, buddy, and these guys have trample. So you're losing 2 creatures right there. Actually, I low-key am really liking this Glacier Godmaw. He's really, really good with all the landfall we have going on. All right, opponent is thinking about it. They're busting out the calculator. I would say that's cheating, but I don't care. I do not care. I think we got him. Even if he's not dead this turn, I mean, he's going to be very low life, and he's losing just so many of his creatures. So this is 20 damage getting through right now. So yeah, he is He's just putting everyone in front of this. I mean, you still need to block these ones. So we'll be left with our elves. You're losing all of your creatures. You're definitely going to be losing... Well, the ordinary Tumblewag is pretty good. Well, you're losing all those creatures, and you're losing your elf. So we're getting 6 damage through, I believe. Yes, we're taking both of those out. We're taking all of those out. Ooh, on the dot. Right at 0. I'm not sure he could have blocked any other way. Nah, yeah, because I guess all the damage got through that was supposed to get through. And hey, this Glacier Godmaw is living. Our 2 little elves are living. This opponent has no creatures on the board right now, so GG. All right, guys, we get to go first. We have a turn 2 Baloth into a turn 3 Claim the Territory into a turn 4 Claim the Territory into a Famished Worldsire, hopefully. Opponent could be mono black discard. That it would feel so bad right now. Let Windows access your location. No. Oh, we even drew the Glacier Godmaw. Let's go. So he's probably the Sephiroth sacrifice deck. We will start applying some pressure to the opponent. They do have a few kill spells, but it's not many. Opponent's like, new card? What is this? All right, opponent, it's either block or not block. Yeah, I was going to say, it should not take that long to think about it on turn 2. Yeah, the timeline color, so maybe a bit more of an aggressive mono black. Interesting. Does he have the, what is it, Embrace? He has Embrace Oblivion. That's a nice combo. Could also have the... I thought that was 2 mana, though, where a creature gets -10/-10 if you warped something in. But no, he's hovering over some creatures, so I think it's... oh, it's Eaten Alive. Also fine. Also fine. So we will just go with Claim the Territory. We will have 5 mana next turn. This one will be 6. Let's see how much pressure we're under. Does he warp out the timeline color again? No. Vengeful Blood Witch into the Infestation Sage. I mean, he can block with a lot of his creatures, and we will lose a lot of life for that. But yeah, next turn, we got the Glacier Godmaw. And the turn after that, we have a Famished Worldsire. So hopefully, opponent just sticks to their own game plan. Just 1 unknown card in hand. Hopefully it's not removal. Timeline color warps him out. So, and another timeline color. Yikes. Opponent really aggressive. How much damage are we taking right now? 2, 4. A lot. We're down to 9. Okay, but that's not a creature dying. So yeah, here comes the Glacier Godmaw. If he warps those 2 out, that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh man, he just barely has us. Oh, that is so unfortunate. That timeline color is such a good card. Maybe he doesn't attack with everyone though. If he just warps out the other one and attacks with everyone, he has us. But opponent didn't see it. 2, 4. I mean, I will block the timeline color. He might have an Eaten Alive or something like that. He's hovering over our creature. He's like, what is this new creature? He might be able to give him -10/-10 since he warped a creature in. No, he's just sacrificing it to draw 2 cards. Yes, so he has 1 mana available. It's down to 6. No, 2 mana available. Please, last unknown card. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Let's absolutely go. Here comes a thick, hungry hippo. We're going to sacrifice 8 lands. How many counters do we get put on everyone? 7. So we sacrifice 8 lands just to find 7, but it doesn't matter because both of our creatures get +7/+7. We got a 31/31. It doesn't have trample though, but this guy does have trample, and he can only stop 2 damage. So this is a feels good moment, people. Momo was also happy for me. Oh, and he didn't even choose to block the Famished Worldsire. So another big fat 31 damage getting through. GG. All right, guys, we go first, and we have the combo in our hand with some really nice ramp as well. No turn 2 ramp. Oh, and we actually need a 3rd land drop. I just noticed that, but I trust. I trust because then we can go with the Claim the Territory. So that will be 4. And I think we can actually put the 5th land on the battlefield then. Go with Encroaching Dragonstorm. And then Overlord, and then the Glacier Godmaw. Oh, opponent is their own green landfall deck. Guys, I'm so tired of seeing this Chocobo. It's honestly a meta deck right now, the landfall package. Got a lot of really good cards added to it. Goes with an elf. And he doesn't attack. We do find our land drop. That's actually huge because we can go with the Bloomvine Regent. And we'll get that one on the battlefield. And then, like I said, next turn, we go with Encroaching Dragonstorm. We might have to get the Overlord on the battlefield, though, because, I mean, this guy is just going to get so many counters with this Traveling Chocobo. I thought we were doing pretty good, but, I mean, this deck is just so good right now. Ay. And I mean, we give them a lander token as well, 4/5. You know what? We will do it like this. We'll get the Overlord down. So this is going to be 7 mana right now. But I mean, yeah, he just gets double counters from that. Sacrifices that one. Gets 2 more counters added to his Chocobo. And then he still has 3 mana to work with. Is it a fight spell? Opponent's thinking about it. He plots. He's just going to give that creature +3 and trample. Well, I'm definitely not blocking this turn then. So we're down to 8. Another Famished Worldsire. I mean, we 100% have to find a land next turn. Because, yeah, we could attack with the Overlord. That will guarantee our 8th land drop, but then we're forced to block with the Glacier. So I think we hold back for now. He finds a bioengineered future, creates a lander token, finds a land. So 2 tokens on that one. And he sacrifices it to find another land. So, I mean, he's not even going to attack with everyone. That one comes down as well. So I think the opponent got us just because they have too many blockers back. And can we even find a land off the top? We do. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. We will just sacrifice all these lands. And how many lands do we find? 9. So we get 9 counters on our guy. They all gain vigilance as well. And unfortunately, this one doesn't have trample. But, I mean, yeah, he just blocks with the elf. That is a problem with this deck. Because I think he'll just have enough damage next turn to get us. Even though this guy is a 33/33, so we can block his Chocobo pretty favorably. I guess he's a 24/24. So, I mean, that cracked land is really good for them, but you definitely can't attack through this. You can't fight either. If we win this game, I will be so happy. And then for sure, then we know who is the better landfall deck. And guys, it's still their deck. Don't get it twisted. Ornery Tumblewag. Yeah, so he's not attacking. And again, we just have another Famished Worldsire coming down. You don't get to put any counters on anyone. Or what I mean is he doesn't get to put any extra counters on... well, I was talking about these creatures here, but this guy, he can put 1 counter. Will that count as 2? Because of the Traveling Chocobo? I think it's just 1 counter. I think it's the landfall trigger. Yeah, it's the landfall trigger where it gets doubled up by the Chocobo. It's not putting extra counters on. So I think we'll be able to get him. Don't know what this bioengineered future does. Create a lander token. Each creature you control enters with an additional +1 on it for each land that entered the battlefield this turn. Don't think that's the best. And I mean, yeah, guys, we're just doing it. Here comes another Famished Worldsire. Sacrifice 9 lands. And wait, let me check my deck, actually. We only have 8 lands in our deck, so... I mean, yeah, we're just going to sacrifice everything. And to put 5 lands on the battlefield, so... we de-ramped ourselves, but... is it even for the greater good? Does he just have too many blockers? I think he does, but again, our guys do have vigilance, so... We're losing our Glacier Godmaw. That does suck. Oh, and we're actually not getting any damage through. So, yeah, I still think he'll be able to get us. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 guys. I cannot believe it. And another Chocobo. We do not have Vigilance anymore. And he attacks with everyone, which is pretty crazy. I don't know why he attacked with everyone. We were kind of in a stalemate. I mean, we'll just get the remaining lands from our library. We were definitely in a stalemate right there. He maybe thought we had better cards in our hand because he was empty-handed. He was just in top deck mode. But I think he would have been able to eventually get us. So, yeah, it seems like our Hungry Hippos came out on top. So, GG. And I guess that one turn I should have maybe held this guy back. Definitely didn't need to attack with him. But, yeah, we got there in the end. Another really, really fun game and a good game. GG. All right, guys. Opponent goes first. Might be dead by turn 4. It looks like it. Ay, ay, ay. Mono red is interesting to see. It looks like mono red goblins. Nothing on turn 2. I think we can afford to go with Glimpse the Core then. Yeah, for sure. We just want to ramp. We just want to ramp. So, yeah, we do have Bloomvine next turn. Opponent, yeah, I was thinking about something for a while. Playing against Bofimi. Create some more goblins. So goblin deck confirmed. Not under a huge amount of pressure. And I mean, we will be able to get the Overlord down, which is really nice. So these 2 lands hitting the battlefield. Let's see, next turn, 4/5. We will have 6 mana. Maybe we go with Garruk into our Frenzied Baloth, just so we can start so we can start drawing some cards. That might be what we do. Yeah, especially because the opponent didn't do anything else, so they might be sitting on a few burn spells. Surprised those haven't gone after our life total then. But yeah, here comes the Frenzied Baloth. Momo. Playing with your mouse. Momo's favorite mouse. She loves chasing that around. And yeah, it is a Burst Lightning. Like I thought. But yeah, at least it's not going after our life total. And he's only dealing 3 damage. So we're only down to 12. Bloomvine is really nice because we can gain some life off of that next turn. We get to draw a card as well. Another forest, not what we need. We have plenty. We're up to 8 mana right now, so if we find the hungry boy, we will be able to play him. We will just go ahead and gain 3 life right now. Another creature back to block with. Draw a card. The Frenzied Baloth is pretty nice. We'll go with the Edge Rover, and we will go with the Frenzied Baloth. And I am just holding everyone back to block. I guess I could have attacked with the Overlord. But, I mean, we have so many lands. We're up to 9 already. This will be 10 and 11. I guess I should do it. Just try and make the biggest. Create 4 dog tokens. Yikes. So now I'm kind of glad. Okay, game. I really don't need this many lands. Oh, opponent had just too many weenie creatures. And yeah, I guess we do keep our creatures back to block. So 4, 6, 7 attackers. We only have 4 blockers, but I mean, they're all just 1/1s. So I think we were still doing okay. Hey there, neighbor, and welcome to the post-game wrap. Today, it is just as simple as possible from what we saw from the games. Just try and get some of the biggest, fattest, thickest creatures on the battlefield. We got the Famished Worldsire, the new mythic from the Edge of Eternity set, and I really like this guy. For 8 mana, you basically devour all your lands, so 7, well, it can be 7 lands if you have the Llanowar Elf, but yeah, you either devour 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 lands. I got 10 lands in the bonus game, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was 11 lands. So we created either a 30-30 or a 33-33 creature, which is absolutely insane. I will say, though, Ward 3 does feel pretty weak for an 8 mana card. I mean, by the time that you get to 8 mana, even if you're ramping like crazy, the opponent probably is up to 5 mana, and if they have a 2 mana Shoot the Sheriff, they can spend the 3 for the ward cost. And the fact that this guy does not have trample just feels so bad. I think in one game, I don't know if we ended up winning it or losing it, I think the opponent blocked like a 24-24 creature with a Llanowar Elf, and it's like, wow, yeah, that does just feel bad. I think we eventually did win that game. I can't remember now, like I said, but yeah, him not having trample does feel really bad. So that is why we have 3 copies of Garruk's Uprising in here. 3 mana. All creatures with power 4 or greater do have trample, which is really nice. So that is how you can close out a game. And honestly, with the Glacier Godmaw, the other really big creature, for 7 mana, you get a 6/6. This guy does have trample, and he combos so well with the Famished Worldsire, because you get this guy down on turn 7. Doesn't strictly have to be turn 7, but when you have 7 lands, and it can be earlier than turn 7 just because we ramp so much. But yeah, when you have 7 lands, you get this guy on the battlefield, and hopefully the next turn you draw a land, and then you have 8, so you can play the Famished Worldsire. You sacrifice all your lands, and hopefully you ramp yourself a little bit. Hopefully you sacrifice 8 lands, and then this guy comes in as a 24-24, so you look 24 cards deep, and you get to put however many lands you see onto the battlefield. So if you devour 8 lands with this guy, hopefully you find 9, maybe 10 lands. Maybe you'd break even and you find just 8 lands. Sometimes we even de-ramp ourselves. I'm pretty sure that happened, where you sacrifice 8 lands and maybe we only found like 5 or 6. That does feel really bad. But anyways, those lands come into the battlefield, and then that will trigger the Glacier Godmaw. So yeah, if you do find another 7 lands, for instance, then all of our creatures will get an additional +7/+7, and they gain Vigilance and Haste until the end of the turn, which again is really nice. Having Vigilance actually was pretty huge, because a lot of our creatures are really thick booties at that point. So having Vigilance is nice then, because you can keep them back to block after you attack, which is nice. Having Haste is also really nice, because then the Famished Worldsire can attack right away. It's just, again, him not having trample, it does feel really bad. I wish this guy had trample, and maybe even a higher ward cost, because I think an 8 mana card that doesn't have haste, so he doesn't win the game on the spot unless you have another haste enabler. I think he should have maybe a little bit more ward, and I think he should have trample. I mean, this guy is devouring a world because he's so hungry. He's a hungry hippo. That was a game I played when I was younger, so shout out to all you guys who remember that game as well. But yeah, this was a really, really fun card. I think we saw from a lot of the games. We actually did pull this combo off quite a bit with the Glacier Godmaw and the Famished Worldsire. And then, I mean, the deck is just a simple, big green, stompy deck. So there's really not much thought into it. You just ramp like crazy with Glimpse the Core, Encroaching Dragonstorm, Bloomvine Regent, and Overlord of the Hauntwoods when you impend him. Of course, Bloomvine Regent and Overlord can be creatures as well. And then we have a few creatures. Edge Rover. If he dies, you do get to create the Lander token. Llanowar Elf, creature that you can use to block with. Can also tap him to add some mana. And the Frenzied Baloth, just another creature. 2 mana for a 3/2 is pretty nice. And then creature spells we cast cannot be countered, which is also really, really nice. So yeah, I've kind of divided it like this. Some just simple creatures to block with, a lot of ramp to get up to 7 and 8 mana, Garruk's Uprising just to give our one guy trample, and then, yeah, the Glacier Godmaw and the Famished Worldsire. So really, really simple deck. Was a lot of fun to play it. So if you guys did crack a few copies of the Famished Worldsire and you're like, I don't really know what to do with him, maybe you also cracked a few copies of the Glacier Godmaw, and this guy is just a uncommon card, I believe, so he's not rare or mythic, which is nice. So that combo goes really, really well together. Hopefully you have a few copies of Overlord of the Hauntwoods. This is just such a good creature, and he fits in so many other decks as well. Bloomvine Regent, he does fit in a ramp package deck as well. Encroaching Dragonstorm is just a common. Glimpse the Core is a common. Llanowar Elf, I believe, is uncommon. Edge Rover is a common, so Frenzied Baloth is a rare card from the Edge of Eternity set. You don't strictly need him. You could maybe honestly go up another copy of Garruk's Uprising and cut a copy or two of the Frenzied Baloth. So overall, I would say a pretty kind of budget build, and it is mono green, so it's just basic forest, no fancy lands or anything like that. So yeah, really, really fun deck. Just big stompy creatures. It's always a lot of fun. It's not the most competitive deck. You will get blown out a few times, especially if you can't actually find your combo pieces. And I think in another game, guys, I got so insanely tilted because I think I had just I kept the 2-lander. I think the opponent killed my Llanowar Elf and maybe made me discard as well. I think they were mono black discard / removal. And then we started with 1 copy of Glacier Godmaw in our hand, and I kid you not, for 3 draws in a row, no lands or anything like that, it was just the next 3 copies of the Glacier Godmaw. So that was a massive tilter. So yeah, you definitely will lose a decent number of games just because I guess Overlord is a pretty big creature. Bloomvine's a medium level creature, but I mean, just these 3 creatures is definitely not enough to get you over the line. You really need to ramp into your big creatures, primarily the Glacier Godmaw and the Famished Worldsire. This guy, I mean, he doesn't have any ward or type of protection, so opponents can just remove him right away. I do think in maybe 1 or 2 games, opponents might think like, well, it's not the biggest threat, so I think they maybe left him alone for 1 or 2 turns, which is a mistake. If you see this creature hit the battlefield, you might want to consider removing him. So yeah, definitely a little bit more on the janky side of things, but it was a lot of fun to play this deck. It's not the most competitive deck, but I guarantee you guys, if you do craft it, you will have a lot of fun playing it if you can just let the losses go, which is always a good habit to have as well. So yeah, if you made it this far into the video, a thumbs up and a subscribe does help me out tremendously. And I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out. Bonus game.